All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something super important for any entrepreneur.
Okay.
Or anyone out there who wants to be an entrepreneur someday.
All right.
And that is the power of your mind. We're looking at a book called The Soul Warrior.
Okay.
And this book really gets into personal development and how that can help you succeed in the business world.
Yeah, and what I really like about this book is it goes beyond the surface level advice and really explores how your mind is like the most important tool for reaching your goals as an entrepreneur.
So, what's one of the biggest things that stood out to you from this book?
Well, one of the first things the book talks about is this idea that every action you take, good or bad, starts as just a thought.
Oh?
It's like planting a seed in your mind.
Oh, interesting.
And they use some pretty powerful examples to illustrate this point.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Like they talk about Gandhi and Hitler.
Wow.
Two people who had a huge impact on the world.
Right.
Obviously in very different ways. Totally. But the point is that they both used the power of their minds to make their goals a reality.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whether those goals were good or bad, you know.
For better or worse, yeah.
It shows that your thoughts can really shape your reality.
Absolutely.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Your mindset is the foundation
everything
of your business, of everything you're trying to build.
For sure. So then how do we cultivate that? How do we get the right mindset?
Well, the book has some really great advice for that. Yeah. And one of the key things they emphasize is reading.
Reading?
They actually call it the ultimate brain food.
Okay.
And this isn't just like some feel-good advice.
Right.
There's actual research behind this.
Interesting. So what kind of research?
Well, there's a study they mention from Ohio State University.
Okay.
And it found this fascinating connection between reading about people overcoming obstacles and being more motivated to achieve your own goals.
Wow. So it's like you can train your brain for success by reading success stories.
It's like our brains are wired to learn from those stories, you know, stories of resilience, and then apply those lessons.
So it's not just about the information. It's about building that mental toughness.
Exactly.
Which is so key for entrepreneurs, right?
Especially for entrepreneurs. You know, you're constantly facing challenges.
All the time.
Setbacks, competition, uncertainty.
For sure.
So yeah, reading can help build that resilience.
So then reading isn't just about gaining knowledge.
Right.
It's about like gaining mental strength too.
Exactly. And there's another benefit of reading that the book talks about that often gets overlooked, and that's reading a fiction.
Really? Okay, so how does reading like novels and stuff help entrepreneurs?
So the book talks about the study from science that found a link between reading fiction and having better social understanding.
So, like, reading novels can make you more socially intelligent.
That's what the research suggests. And think about it, like, how important is social intelligence for entrepreneurs?
Oh, it's huge.
You have to build relationships, negotiate deals, lead teams.
All the time.
And all of that requires being able to connect with people on an emotional level.
That's a really good point.
So reading fiction can almost be like a workout for your empathy muscles.
I like that.
Which is a key skill for entrepreneurs to develop.
Yeah, it's like you're stepping into someone else's shoes when you read a novel.
Exactly.
You're getting a different perspective.
Right, and all of this ties into this concept that the book calls cognitive reserve.
Oh, cognitive reserve. Okay.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard the term, but I don't really know what it means.
Yeah, it's basically like building up a mental buffer.
Okay.
It's all the knowledge and skills and experiences you've gained over time.
Okay.
And you can draw on that reserve when you're faced with challenges.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or, you know, when you're in new situations.
Right.
And the book actually cites research from the University of Santiago de Compostela. Okay.
They found that a large vocabulary is linked to delayed mental decline.
Wait, so learning new words can help keep your brain sharp as you age?
That's what the research suggests.
Wow.
And it really debunks that myth that learning is only for young people.
So important for entrepreneurs, though, because the business world is constantly changing.
Right. You have to constantly be learning and adapting.
All the time. Yeah.
To stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not just about like staying relevant. It's about keeping your mind like quick and agile.
Exactly.
So you can make those split-second decisions that you have to make all the time.
Yeah, and that mental agility is crucial in the fast-paced world of business.
Absolutely.
And the book doesn't just talk about the good stuff.
Okay.
It also talks about what can happen if you neglect your mental growth.
Oh, so like what are the risks? if you're not learning and growing.
Yeah. The book says it can lead to feeling lost and without purpose.
Okay.
Like you're just stuck in a rut.
Right. Like you're not moving forward. Exactly. And your knowledge can get outdated.
Oh, especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. In the business world, things change so fast.
All the time.
If you're not learning new things, you can fall behind really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. So then the book talks about the author's personal journey, right?
It does. It talks about Abbood Tamimi,
Okay.
who founded a really successful company called 3 Mushrooms.
Oh.
It's a satellite communications company.
Oh, cool.
And he's a big believer in lifelong learning.
That's awesome. So how did learning help him become successful?
Well, he actually had to work pretty hard to learn the skills he needed to build his business.
Okay.
He didn't come from a traditional tech background.
Oh, so he wasn't just like born knowing all this stuff?
No, not at all. He actually had to overcome some challenges.
What kinds of challenges?
Well, he had to really update his knowledge after being away from school for a while.
Oh, I see.
And he even admits that he wasn't a big reader at first.
So reading wasn't something that came easy to him?
Nope. But he knew it was important, so he made the effort.
That's really inspiring.
And it paid off in a big way.
Okay, like how so?
So he used his knowledge to create something unique for his company.
Oh, like what?
He focused on educating his clients
Okay.
instead of just selling them satellite technology.
Right.
He took the time to explain how it worked.
So he was giving them more than just the product.
Yeah, he was giving them knowledge and building trust at the same time.
Well, that's smart.
And it really worked. It helped 3 Mushrooms become a leader in the industry.
Wow, so it's a perfect example of how knowledge is power.
Exactly. And the book also talks about those mental roadblocks we all have about learning.
Oh, yeah. Like, what are some of those?
Like, I don't have time.
Ugh, yes.
I'm too busy. I'll do it later.
I'm so guilty of that.
We all are. But Tamimi actually talks about how he overcame that I don't have time excuse.
Really? How?
He started thinking of it as a matter of priorities.
Oh, so it's not about finding the time. It's about making the time.
Right. If something is important enough, you'll make time for it.
That's true. I like that.
And the book has some good advice for other challenges, too.
Okay, like what?
Like, if you have trouble concentrating while reading,
Oh, yeah.
try listening to audiobooks.
That's a good idea.
Or if you get bored, easily, try reading shorter articles on topics you're really interested in.
So it's all about finding what works best for you.
Exactly. And then the book gets even more practical.
Okay.
It gives specific steps you can take to make learning a part of your life.
Ooh, I like that. So what are some of those steps?
So the book says one of the first things you got to do is figure out what you're really interested in.
Okay.
Like what areas of your business or your industry you're like most curious about.
So you're saying like find the things that really get you excited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The things that you're passionate about.
Okay.
Like maybe it's some new marketing strategy.
What?
Or you want to learn about a new technology.
What?
Or even just like understanding your customers better.
I like that.
Whatever it is, find those things that really light you up.
Yeah, because then you'll actually want to learn about it.
Right, exactly. You got to be excited about it to really stick with it.
For sure.
But then it's not enough to just think about it.
Okay.
You got to actually take action.
So like make a plan.
Yeah, make a plan and then
Don't just like think about it. Actually do it.
do it.
Yeah. Okay.
There are so many resources out there these days.
Oh, yeah.
You can take online courses, go to workshops,
Yeah.
read books, listen to podcasts.
Talk to people.
Yeah, connect with experts.
I love that.
It's all about finding what works best for you and then making it a habit.
Make it part of your routine.
Right. And the book doesn't just talk about learning about business stuff.
Okay.
It actually encourages you to think bigger.
Like what?
Like do puzzles, be creative,
Oh, interesting.
learn a new language.
Okay.
Anything that keeps your mind sharp.
So just always challenge yourself.
Yeah, constantly challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself.
That's how you stay ahead of the game.
That's how you grow as a person too.
Absolutely. It's not just about business.
Right.
It's about living a more fulfilling life.
That's a really good point.
I think that's why I like this book so much.
Yeah.
It really connects intellectual growth
Okay.
with being successful as an entrepreneur
Right.
and with just being happy in general.
I love that.
So we've talked about a lot today.
Yeah, we really went deep on this one.
We talked about how powerful our ideas are, how important reading is,
Yeah.
how to keep learning throughout your life.
And how to overcome those mental roadblocks that get in the way.
Exactly. I hope everyone listening feels inspired
Me too.
to take their learning to the next level.
So before we wrap up, what's one thing our listeners can do today to get started?
I'd say think about one area of your business
Okay.
where you could benefit from knowing more.
Okay, like a knowledge gap.
Yeah, and then spend just 30 minutes today learning about it.
I like that.
Read an article, listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Just take a small step.
That's great advice.
It can make a big difference.
So just to wrap things up,
Okay.
remember that as an entrepreneur, learning and growing isn't just a nice thing to do.
Right.
It's essential for success.
Absolutely.
So keep learning, keep growing,
Yeah.
and keep pushing those boundaries.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, we'll be back next time with another topic.
That will hopefully help you on your journey.
So until then, keep learning, and we'll see you soon.